Alola Chandrakala Sadvana Malya Vamshi Ratnangadam Pranayake Nikala Vilasam Shyamam Vibhangalalitam Niyata Prakasham Govindamani Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
I want to explain a little bit about my art because so far up to now, up to today, I haven't been able to describe my style as compared to any other style. But I wanted to explain a little bit about it and just share with you what I feel when I'm painting. I definitely take my inspiration from all the old artists and the old art because I am attracted to the beauty and purity of the old art. The earliest inspiration in my life would be Srila Prabhupada's Krishna book, illustrated Krishna book. The colors and the personality and the sweetness in the art, the original art, from the artists that were directed by Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada were my number one favorite influence. Then I started testing out my skills at around 4, and my mother encouraged me so much that I felt confident. And it grew from there. And then in an art school that I went to, my teacher said something very profound that stayed with me for forever, and it was that the best way to learn art is to study the masters. In 1997 and 1998, I became inspired and met my spiritual master, Om Vishnupada Ashtota Sutta Sri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, and by his encouragement, his critique, and his instructions, I have been inspired to be a better artist. Then after that, I met with my spiritual auntie, Srimati Jadurani Devi, who is one of the original artists in the Krishna book, and by her influence I learned more about depth, line, lighting, and color, and spiritual aspects of art. After studying about face reading, I realized more deeply that there is a connection between the way your body and face looks and with your personality. Your nose, your eyes, your mouth, your forehead, your cheekbones, they all have a close connection with your personality. So if you have a description of someone who lived thousands of years ago, but you don't have any image, you can refer to face reading and body language to kind of get a better idea of what that person may have looked like. Something that I always think about when I'm painting these ancient personalities is how their lifestyle was so much different than ours. And in Kali Yuga, how our bodies have changed because of the modern lifestyle. Most people nowadays have their molars removed, and what happens is it makes their cheeks sink in a little, and they are not as pious and they're not as healthy. The air is bad and is not as good, and so people of ancient times had clean air and organic fruits and vegetables, and everything was much more pure. And so I think that these personalities must have been a lot more healthy looking and with rounder cheeks. And if you look at the ancient architecture and art, you'll see that they have a whole different appearance to their bodies. And so that always comes to my mind and influences the way I paint. The ancient Vedic literature and the Gaudiya Vaishnava scripture has a major influence on my life and lifestyle, and so it comes through in all of my art. Gaudiya Vaishnavism is a very, very personal form of worship, and we consider God to be a person, an actual person with a personality and features and qualities, and all the demigods that work under him to be personalities as well. When I paint any painting of a deity, like Lord Shiva, or even Pele, or even the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna himself, I like to ask them for permission first and pray to them for help and inspiration and guidance, and invoke their presence in the painting so that when a person looks at that painting they can feel something there. So, for example, the goddess Pele of Hawaii is the goddess of volcanoes, and her function is managing the volcanoes on this island. And she is also a person, and she has quite a personality, and so I like that to show as well in my art. So I don't like to use people as models for my paintings, unless it's a very difficult pose or hand. But especially I don't like to use faces, because I feel that the essence of that person posing shows up in the painting. And so if it's available, I'd rather choose to use deities or ancient paintings or deities as references and as influences in the way the person looks. I know that colors have an influence on our psychology and also on our emotions, and according to Vastu, colors are very, very powerful. So how you use them can greatly affect the way the painting feels. Also, according to Vastu, shapes have a very strong influence on our feeling, mood, and fortune. So we have to be very conscious of the shapes and colors that we use in our art. Also, according to Vastu, the elements of nature, earth, fire, water, air, and ether, have a lot of power on us, and not just physically and in real life, but also in images. They affect our moods and our fortune. And so when I paint a mountain or two rivers joining together, it has a lot of meaning, and it's meant to invoke a specific auspicious influence.